Welcome to the Seven Crosses series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we are picking up the series on the 20th of February 1955 for a reason which I will explain in a little while. You can see the snow's back on, still on the ground. But first things first, a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys give me so much to think about. And also I want to give a bit of an apology if you hear any background noises like dogs barking, humming or anything like that. The reason for that is that currently in the UK we're going through a bit of a heat wave, and I'm recording this just after 7 o'clock in the morning, and the temperature in my recording room is already over 32 degrees Celsius, and that is with both my windows and the door open. So apologies for that if you hear any background noises. And what I want to do now is just talk a little bit about your comments and feedback, and I've just seen a good example go through. If I come down to here, you will see that what we got here is that I've just had a message saying last chance to buy, and this looks like it's a combine. Somebody did post a comment about the slow speed of my economy, and I have to admit it is very slow. That's down to several reasons. The first reason is simply that the fact I made some quite bad mistakes when I started this, because I planned this area based on a 1960 start, and I think if you're going to start prior to 1960, you really need to keep things very tight, keep your journey distances short. But it's simply because, one, the low speed of your vehicles, two, that even with modded vehicles, your carry capacity and top speed is very limited. And that leads on to why I was referencing the combine here. And I think it's, let me see if we come into here, it's probably this, it's one of these, yeah, it runs out in 1955 here. This one here, it's not, I mean, it's actually slower than these anyway. One thing I've noticed with modded trucks is that the game seems to be a bit shaky with respect to expiry dates and start dates, because if I can't really show it to you here, but I did subscribe to a mod with Tatra trucks, which should still be available right through, I think, until about 1959. And they had the good dumper trucks on it. But what seems to have happened is they seem to have disappeared prematurely. Now, I don't know if that's to do with the configuration of the mod or just the way the game works. But this is something that if you are playing on an early start, you do need to be aware when your vehicles are arriving. And more importantly, you need to keep an eye out for these last opportunities, because in some ways it's crippled my economy. Because at the moment, again, if I come and click here, what you will see is, I go to dumpers, and the only dumper I've really got at the moment is this V3S, which carries 4.5 tons of everything. Now, one of the problems you get is that I could buy two of these to replace a 110-ton dumper. The trouble is that if you do that, you're consuming more fuel. So that means that you end up with this quite delicate balance between truck efficiency and trying to push your economy. So that's something you do need to bear in mind with going forward. And I must admit, I am looking forward to getting to, I think it's about 1959 when we get the I think it's the T138 truck dumpers, which will have a 10-ton capacity and a little bit more speed. So I must admit, I am looking forward to that. Now, somebody also did post a comment about the fact I moved my cursor around quite a lot, and I know I am very guilty of this. But the main reason I do this is I get very nervous, especially when I'm playing a game like Workers and Resources, where you effectively need eyes in the back of your head, because one feature of this game is the moment you think you've got everything under control is the moment when you haven't got everything under control. And a good example of that is that I thought I had everything going pretty well here. I think we can speed the game up now. We're moving over to this, and you'll see literally what happened after the end of the last video is this wood cutting post caught fire and burnt down. And what it has done is it's crippled my wood cutting capabilities in this area for the moment. But lucky the new feature where you could replace the building works quite well. But one thing I am getting is traffic jam messages, because my trucks out here are kind of stuck there, and I'm going to be very interested to see when this is built whether the trucks will be able to get back to this wood cutting zone. Either that, or we're going to have to buy some more trucks, which is another unnecessary expense. And the problem is that I've got good fire coverage here. I mean, if I show you, I mean, if we zoom out, You can see I've got really good fire coverage during normal conditions, but when the snow comes, because again it's returning to the vehicles, I mean I've only got one snowplow, this very expensive Bat M Snow, which I can't afford to buy because I haven't got 43,000 rubles. So at the moment I've got a massive shortage of snowplows. In fact, my entire snowplow fleet, it consists of one snowplow. And this is the mistake I made, that when I built this, I bought the one truck thinking I could buy them over a period of time. What I didn't realize is that this truck expired. So again, that returns down to the fact that if you are playing with the an early start, you do really need to be aware of what's going on. And what I do want to get in here is a fire station, because we're going to need to provide winter fire coverage. And I think because how important this area is going to be, I think we're going to need to invest in, say, a 3-truck fire station. What we got here, what's that look like? I think we can get that in there. I'm just going to give enough road, and I'm just going to build that there. Hopefully that will get picked up. The other thing I've also done off camera is I spent a little bit of time putting in a pedestrian walkway here. And one thing I've realised is that that footpath here is never going to get built. I'm going to have to kind of put a link in there, get that picked up as well. And hopefully what we'll do is we'll get the workers coming in here. We'll come over to this wood pitch, so we'll get some bitumen, and that should cut my costs down. Now another thing economy related is if I come up to here and we look at our loan, you can see we've got about 3 months to go now, and hopefully what that will do is release another 2,658 rubles per month, which we can add into the economy. Now something else I need to do, we're on March and I've kind of been talking too long, is I want to pull another combine out of here and send you to here. Now this is a little bit of exhaustive micromanagement, but I feel at the moment I've got no real options to do this, and what I'm going to do is put you into there. I mean, ideally what I want to do is build a second farm here, because I think producing more crops that will allow me to produce fuel and food and meat which I can export will be the way to really prep up the economy. But I think at the moment I'm just going to have to micro it and just try my best to keep things going. Now out here during the winter, this road has now been finished. So as a long-term project, what I want to do is we're going to build it. We'll switch on the wireframe, and we're going to try and get this road here. We're going to come. That will come there. I'm not sure. And we're going to set the iPad's road crew on that. We're just going to try and get that built out there. Now, I'm not sure. My instinct is to build the town on this side. In fact, I think what I will do is, sorry about this, I'm gonna run the road out that way as well, because we've got to start sending the road out this way anyway to get to the ironworks. What I will do is not build that road. We'll build this road first and then this road. And what I want to do is build the town on this side so that we can get the coal production going in here, because of course we're going to need to bring power lines out as well, which is a long way out, which is going to be a bit of a problem. Hopefully going to get more tractors laying out. We're running at 40,000 at the moment. I mean, I'll be completely honest, I'd rather let the crews keep catching up with the work here. We've got quite a lot of stuff here. Now I did have a road in this area. Got a little bit of a road there. I don't think the road crew is going to build that, so just can I assign that and get that built. That's it. What other jobs has the road crew got? What have you got? You've got unfinished road. Oops. Factory connection. Right, we've got that being built there. We've got that one over there, and we've got an unfinished footpath. So overall, these guys don't have that much. The only real problem we're going to have with this unfinished footpath is that the road crew can't really build it. But same time, I'm not in no rush to build that. These will be picked up by Novu. What I really do want is this finished. Well, it's getting there, but we're going to need the workforce out here. Yeah, I mean, another mistake I did really make here was that what I should have done is equipped this construction office with full-size dumpers at the very beginning, because then I could have spun the dumpers out to use on other jobs as well. See, so it's we've got a dumper parked here. So it looks like we actually got, yeah, it looks like we've got a bit of a worker problem. It's probably down to the trucks here. I mean, how's the population go? I mean, the population is okay, but we did have quite a lot of escapees during the winter. So, to be honest, I got mixed feelings. I'm quite happy for the population not to grow too quickly, because I don't want to be driven by a rapidly expanding population. But at the same time, I would like it to grow. Something else I want to mention is that I think what I'm really looking forward to the new UI, because I think the ability to see your population, how happy they are, and I think there's health and food on the top bar here, will make a big difference. Because instead of having to keep doing this and saying how happy is my overall population and all that, I think the ability to have a quick overview, and more important, if you suddenly see the population dropping, then you know something's going wrong, and then that might actually slow down my flipping all over the map. Actually, this is going, this just needs steel. I certainly wouldn't mind building this. Of course, we got no brick production at the moment until this is finished, because at the moment my brick production is totally crippled. We need to get this built as well. Yes, I know I've got a traffic jam game. I certainly would like the groundwork's done on that. Got a feeling this summer is going to be very much a question of catch up. Again, I would like to get some bigger capacity dumpers working out here, but I can't see the point of putting a 3.5 ton dumper on here, because it's not really going to make that much difference. I mean, I think I'm ahead of the game here. Let's take a check. We got 39 tons here. But we got a bit of a worker shortage as well. I'm not sure what's going on. We've got workers here. Oh, looks like they've got the workers coming in. But looks like I'm nearly out of gravel. Okay, that could be an issue. I've got a feeling I've just got too many jobs going on. I need to slow down some of these jobs. Yeah, look, we got workers here waiting for steel. I'm going to cancel that. I don't need that job. Yeah, I've piled in too many jobs, so I'm going to need to shut a few of these down, because they're kind of taking the workers. That one's shut down. I think we're going to shut this one down as well, because I don't need them just at the moment. I need the crews to focus on here. This is a bit of a kind of a free build, because it's anyone around here with nothing to do will do it. So it says I've got 50 unemployed. I think if we just need to keep the workers targeted on what they need to do. What we got here, yeah. So we've got no workers here, so I need to really think about what jobs I need to be built. See what other jobs have we got here. Got the wood cutting post, the factory connection, unfinished conveyor, a wood cutting post. I think that is good enough. Is those 3 jobs there? You can see here now we're moving forward with the conveyors. I'd really would like to get those conveyors sorted. Now, somebody did ask a question about the rule I was using related to the fact that I only export goods that I've manufactured in game, and and I probably didn't explain it that well in part one, because that rule is part of the hard mode challenge. And what I did in part one is I'd kind of generalized the rules by saying that I'd be sticking basically to the hard mode challenge, and kind of made, and probably quite wrongly, made the assumption everyone knew what the hard mode challenge rules were. But with respect to exports, is that you can't export any product that you haven't manufactured using internal resources. There's also restrictions on oil and bitumen to stop the cheat where you actually start near an oil field, drill for raw oil, and then just kind of push everything out that way. Actually doing quite well here. We've actually got these guys. I'm very tempted just around March to add another field. I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained, but if these guys are ploughing, I mean, we've got up until May. In fact, I'm very tempted to put another large field in over here. In fact, I think I will do that. You can put it that way. I don't know if everyone would walk up to it and start sowing it, but we'll give it a go. If I've got any spare workforce here, they might come and do the honours. Well, we'll give it a go and see. I mean, I'm at a point now where if I'd rather try and get the maximum amount of crops in at the end of every cycle. And if I get wastage, I've got wastage. I just have to keep trying to improve my capacities, because again, we're probably already starting to get a bit of a crop shortage. We got 300. See, we're in April. We got 300 tons there. We already emptied this silo. We've got 600 tons there. So you can say we've got under 1,000 tons to last us to the end of July. We're only in April at the moment. So again, it's something I need to bear in mind. So I don't want to drain out all my cash just at the moment. And what we will do is put these while I'm thinking about it, so I don't forget. Well, I wouldn't mind an extra covered hole here, but I don't really, I mean, let me just see. Have we got any good capacity covered holes I could use? Yeah, let me see. Well, we've got this truck here. This is 8 tons. But it's 60 kilometers an hour. We've got the V3S. It's 13,000. It's going to be expensive. It's 4.5 tons, 2.4 tons. How big is the slot over here? You're full. And we got a spare capacity. I think I am going to buy this guy. And then we're going to get him over here. I know it's going to affect my money. But I think if we've got that here, I think that will bring in the crops faster. Oh, look at that. We got a steamroller. Oh, at last. I mean, if it's really, really cheap, and I emphasize the word cheap. Where is it? Roller. It's only 3,900. If we build our money up, I think what I will do is get a roller, and I think we got some space in here. I mean, it doesn't solve the paving aspect, but it will mean that when we build a factory connection, because we're not going to be building asphalt roads too quickly, but when we build factory connections, we'll have a roller to send out to get things done. Right, come on, game. You. I know you. Oh, I've got no workers. Okay. Let's have a look at another comment someone talked about was alternative, like clothes and food production lines with alternate crops. I've got a feeling that might come later on because my mind goes back to City Skylines, and if any of you have played City Skylines, you'll be aware that what happened is when the base game was delivered, some of them, the general mechanics like industry, were very basic, and then what happened is over a series of DLCs, the Colossal Order extended the industries and the education even more with specialized universities. And I've got a feeling this could happen with Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, although I'm not advocating DLC. I think at the moment the devs are very much focused on the core mechanics, like what they're currently working on is policing. I've got a feeling that once they got all those core mechanics in and they're moving up towards what you could call their full release, I think that's when they can start looking at alternative production lines like formalizing probably meat production, possibly introducing wool as another way to produce clothes. But I think that is more the refinement of the game once they've got the core mechanics in process. And I think what I am going to do is something that, again, somebody actually mentioned this as alternative supplies, and you've got these vegetable gardens, but I'm not convinced that these are really worth the effort, because you're going to have to put 0.3 tons of wood into a vegetable garden. But what I am interested in is possibly producing some meat. From 0.5 tons of crops, we can get 0.2 tons of meat. I think there's a pig farm in here as well. But I think that's 0.25, that's 0.1. Obviously, so that's 0.5 crops, gives 0.2 meat. A pig farm gives 0.25.1. Chicken farm, pig farm. I'm just curious. What's the pollution of these? Environmental pollution. We'd have to put it a better distance away, but I'd like it so that people would walk to it. Again, this is something else that I've noticed with this early start. You've got to be a bit more relaxed with respect to pollution. Although I think I might put in a pollution monitor. I think we'll put in a kind of pig farm, chicken farm there. So I think I will put in a pollution monitor. I think it comes under here. I mean, they don't take that much to build, do they? I think we're going to put a pollution monitor in the center there. And of course, what we'll have to do is assign you. Although we're going to need electronics for that, I'm not exactly too sure. We got a little bit of a way of electronics. Now, see, I've got no trucks in here. Now, the question is, will these trucks get reassigned back to here, or are they permanently stuck? I'm getting a feeling that these trucks are permanently stuck, aren't they? Because yeah, they're not moving, are they? Okay, what we're gonna have to do is sell them. And how many spaces we got here? We got 3 spaces. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna use the same what I did before. Is we're gonna buy some tree felling capacity, and we're gonna get I think what I'm going to do is buy 3 of these, and then we're going to use horses and carts. I don't know if you noticed that. Let me just do this and I'll go back and point out that we come here, get back to here, and we look at this under tree felling. The coming here, it says fell tree capacity speed 20. I mean, true, they're slower, but this is 15. I mean, this is 30. This is 15, and this is 20 as well. So, in some ways, 2-horse open hole wagons are nearly just as efficient as the motor-driven trucks. Plus, the fact they use a lot less fuel. And certainly, through this up, we just need bricks. We got any staff in here yet? Yes, so we're now producing some bricks, but we've got no logs. We need to get this working so we can get the bricks to get this built. Get some fire crews in here. So we're going to need to get that up and running. Right, we've now produced this old corner house here. And what I was going to do here was move these guys from here, wasn't it? I'm going to move you into there. And we're going to knock you down. This is part of our modernization program. I mean, this does look a bit kind of incongruous because it's kind of stuck on a corner like that. It gives the impression that it needs another building right alongside it, but I don't think there's much I can do about that. I think I'd like to get this footpath built in now. So we've got our workers in here. These should be a little bit more happier because they've got better accommodation. Though these are very happy, but I think eventually these will become a little bit more happier. It's just that they got moved, and people don't like being moved. See, look at this. See, these are all. I mean, 1st of May, and all these large fields are growing. Wow. Okay, so we've actually finished the cycle. What I'm going to do now is we're just going to pull 2 of these tractors back to here so that I don't forget. And just pick up this one and this one, and we're going to put the combines into here. I mean, if I had the money, I would buy another combine. Because that would give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 combines. So we can get that done. How are we doing out here? Well, they're certainly putting this road together. I'm trying to think of. I mean, part of me says that what I really need out here is the supplies to kind of improve the construction speed by that, but I don't have the vehicles to transport the gravel and everything out that way. So at the moment we're just gonna have to do this in slow speed and just keep working on our economy and trying to get things done. How are we doing for jobs here? Wow, this guy's completely you're out of work. Number 1 job. Go this way. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these guys restricted for the moment with respect. I don't, yeah, because you need mechanical components. I want these built. I think that's got to be the priority. Although this old house could be useful. I'm trying to think of what we got here. Grapple, yep. How are we doing over here? We got plenty of boards going out now. What are you? Why? Oh, you're just loading. Okay. I'm just wondering whether I got any more trucks out here that, or did I only have the 2 trucks? I'm just gonna be a bit difficult to see. You can see how efficient these little wagons are. We're now starting to get things going now. I think what I probably do need to do is put in some more. I'm going to plant out some more pines just to keep everything going, because we can't afford to run out of. We'll just get that going. I mean, I'd like to build this over here as well, but I don't think it's really worth it. I've got a feeling these guys might need a bit of assistance from the road crew. So we're going to have a very targeted. I think I would like to get that built as well. And we'll put these guys on it. And then what that will do is just link that through there. Right, and we've got the fire station here. So what we're going to need to do now is one, get a fire truck out here, at least one fire truck, and preferably two. How much is it going to cost me for fire trucks? Oh, this is getting expensive. Got 1952. We got the Zeiss here. This is level 8. This is level 10. This is level 6. This is level 12. But we can't afford 20,000. My instinct is to get two of these over one of those, because, or yeah, we're going to get two of these. I'm going to be broke at this rate. Get you out here. I do need this fire protection, and of course, and what I'm gambling is that what we're going to need to do is get more buses out here. So that, hopefully the buses will deliver the workforce out here, which will then put the workers into here. Oh, in the fire station, please. I'm wondering, gravel road to there, like that. Yeah, I think if we put a gravel road in there, that will mean that the buses coming from here won't have to go around that loop. So I think we'll do that. Just going to get that in there. Really would love to get this finished in this video, but steel is the problem. Economy, have I paid off my loan? Yes. I mean, I've bought some vehicles, but we're going to need to let it run a couple of months to try and get things going. I need workers out here now. Yes, we got a fire crew in here. I'm going to be a little bit happier with respect to that. I mean, if I could just get, like, say, the concrete plant or one of these connected, and then I say, I think the dumper that's associated with that is in here. I'm pretty sure it is. Where is it? You can see it's still a very small dumper. So at the moment I've got all my dumpers fully extended. We're on the 19th of May. How's the crop situation? We're in panic mode now. We're down to 203 here. Still got 544. So we are looking a little bit better than we did before. Why have we got trees in the middle of the car park? I'm not overly sure why that is. How's the fuel situation? And we're still producing fuel because we got this overload here. Yeah, if we get to the end of June and we still got crops in here, what I'll do is I'll switch on the food export again. I mean, I don't really want to export fuel. In fact, what is the one what's one's worth the most? Current prices. Fuel's 230. Food and fuel are compatible. I mean, fabric would be nice as well. Could we export some fabric? But again, I need a truck. It's kind of like a vicious circle. I mean, we got surplus fabric. No, I mean, have you guys got some trucks? You got a cement truck in here doing nothing. Actually, what we could do would be, we got this truck. They're like a covered hole truck. Let me just come up here, and what we're going to do is try and boost our income. Where am I? I'm going to come here. I'm going to load fabric as long as it's over 50%, and you're going to export the fabric. What's the price of fabric? Yeah, I mean, fabric is a lot more valuable. And that is close to these dwellings here. What I'd like to do in the long term is actually put in a proper full-size fabric factory. The only trouble with that is we have to import chemicals. That old catch-22 situation again. Let's just get here. So we are kind of bumping out the steel production, but of course what we are doing is it's consuming. Oh, building's on fire. No, 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 no. That's okay. That's a dwelling. I know I shouldn't say that, but we're creeping up very slowly. We're still getting the odd escapee. Probably people who aren't totally happy with the situation. Probably, I mean, overall, people are happy. I think part of the happiness problem is if you come down to, no, it's probably not here, but it's here. You can see the quality of the flats is 72%. But I think generally we're okay. I mean, we got 943 fully educated people. I'm wondering, these ice trucks, you can transport steel. I'm just wondering whether I can pull one of this guy out. Where are you? We're going to send you to there, and then we're going to replace you with a horse and cart. Possible low-tech solution. We're kind of building up a few trucks here. We've got a steel truck here that's I'm not really using either. I don't feel that I'm actually needing this truck here. We've got two excavators sat in here effectively doing nothing, but I just feel that I need to keep focused on here. In fact, I think what we can do is activate that what we call it, get that open store working. I think I can finish this off. Very small amount of steel and mechanical components to get that finished. I think if I can get this finished, we will give us a somewhere to store the logs in preparation for bringing the heating plant back online in winter. I think that would be okay. Been all the way over to here. The knife edge through is okay. And they've actually detected that road as well. Wow. We've got a long detection range. What would I want to build out here first? Well, I suppose we're going to have to build the basics. But I want to get this finished first, I think. Yeah, mechanical components still. I mean, I could import some mechanical components, but our money's still so very tight. What do we need here? It's just well, we can get assign you because you don't need steel or mechanical components, so we can get this chicken farm up and running. And once the chicken farm's ready and we can deliver some crops to it, what I can do is the horse and cart that's running backwards and forwards to the shop here and also the shop here, we can take its meat from here, and what that will mean is the production coming from the livestock can go for pure exports. In fact, let's just have a look at my exports. If we come back to here, you can see we're exporting a couple of tons of meat a month, and that's really down to the fact that most of my meat now is going into my industry, but you can see that the fabric is making a little bit of difference as well, and of course the alcohol's the big money earner, and bricks. So we are just about hanging in there. That's the only downside of these horses and carts, but I think I can live with them from that perspective. Just check the fire station. Yeah, we got a fire crew in there, kind of working hard. I think what's probably happened is the fabric, we've exported all the fabric, so we've kind of got our crew here producing more. The problem is that these don't really have any crop delivery at the moment. Eventually these are going to run out of crops, but we're in June, so we should be okay. We've got quite a lot of clothes stored in here, which should ensure that we don't have a problem with clothes shortage. So that's good. Let's have a look here. We're getting the odd escapees, but the population is getting a little bit of momentum now. I think the key factor here is to protect the population through winter so that we don't lose the growth that occurred during the kind of the rest of the year. So we'll just get that done. I think if we can get, how's this going? We just need some mechanical components and we'll be there. Yes, mechanical components and that are the big limiting factor. And it's coal now. We're just gonna have to. I'm the eternal optimist. Let me just check. I just don't feel I can justify that extra dumper for 4.5 tons. Last chance to buy. What's that? Oh, steam train. Yeah, this is very much a steam train that I've been looking at for another series that I'm thinking about doing, where I'm going to start even earlier than 1947. So I've been looking at early trains because that's one area where there's quite a big weakness with respect to the, how can you say, the options for transport. Why are you out here so far? Oh yeah, you've just come from there, haven't you? Sorry. Ha. I mean, I think overall we're not really working our staff that good. I mean, how's the university going? I haven't checked the university for a little while. We're certainly going to need to do some research, but I don't feel the need for it just at the moment. Not production, yes, I know. Let's just go whizzing all the way out here again. Yeah, it's going to be a painful process getting this going. I think what I might do is, once I've got everything set up, we may move some of the road crew out to here. How are we doing here? Lots and lots of fields here. Now the big problem I am going to have is whether I can add any of, see, I can't add any of these or this one to these crews here. So another level of micro I'm going to have to do during the harvesting season is that as some of these fields finish, I'm going to have to take them off and then assign these larger fields to it here so that we get the maximum out of here. In fact, I wouldn't mind, we've got the fire station here. Probably could do with another fire crew in here. I think I'm just going to have to micro these guys for in the short term, because I think probably the better priority is to get this silo built. But you can see it needs a lot of steel, and you need 1.9 tons of steel. I mean, can I get that? I think it'd be quite nice if I could. I think I'm going to wait until these are finished before we kick off that what we call it here. Actually, who delivers the... There we got farmland distribution office 2. You're delivering to the fabric factory. I'm just thinking. I'm just wondering if I can pull one of these off of fabric factory. Or actually, we're just going to push these up to 90%. You're 90%. What's the storage capacity in here? 8 tons. I think what I could probably do, remove one of you so that we've only got one delivering to there. Right, we're back up to 38,000. We've now got this here. People are a little bit happier. I mean, we've got plenty of slack in the population here. These roads are now finished. We got that there. What I will do is want that. And I think I've got something else over. Can't build that just yet. I might have made a bit of a mistake here. What we can do is put a temporary mud path there. I think I'll do the same. We'll build that later on, because I would like to get these two fields. Put you up to there, and what that should do is bring over. This field becomes ready to harvest. They may come over here a little bit. I think I still would like to get more buildings that have more people over here, but I suppose I need to really think about getting this built. I mean, these can still get to the bus station, and of course these are providing workers to here. I did put in the pollution monitor or something, didn't I? I think we're assign you to large construction office. That just needs a small amount of steel, a small amount of electronics. I really would like to know what the pollution situation in this area is, and whether that's actually having an effect. In fact, let's just have a look at the health. People's health. I mean, generally the health is pretty good, although we seem to be a little bit lower on this side. So I do wonder whether we need a clinic up here, because at the moment the only health set area I've got is here, and this might be a little bit far away from. Yeah, we got no link to the health, so I've made a bit of a mistake here. We need to get in some form of a clinic in this area, because I've kind of got this corner. I think maybe we could get a clinic in here. Let me just see. Or a hospital. On a small clinic. Services buildings. I mean, we could put this thing in. I mean, of course, we've got this option as well. Is a little bit of steel. We've got the doctor's office, actually. And we've got a road junction there. We could kind of slip a doctor's office in the corner here. Although I don't think the doctor's office actually has space for vehicles, so let me just check. It's got parking for one vehicle. I think that would be quite well. We'll put these guys in for an assist. Then there's kind of stood around doing nothing. Right, we're on the 14th of July now, and we'll get that there. What we can do now is just flip this around again. We come here, we're gonna knock out the fabric factory, and we're going to export some food. Because the fabric factory was virtually out anyway, because it's got no crops at the moment. So we need to deal with that issue there. What we're going to have to do is set up a supply route that will take some crops up to here, which when we need. Probably would be easier to draw it from, say, here. Got the potential of a very good harvest here. And let me just see where time is pushing on. I've got a bit carried away as usual. We're nearly there, and nearly got this. We just need 0.71 mechanical components now. So just flip to the just producing there. It says their resources steel. So yeah, steel's the issue. Or well, strictly speaking, it's the coal and iron. But we are building up a little bit of income, and I think if we can get that working, will be good. I want to take a quick look. In fact, just see if we're actually getting a little bit more in the way of logs in here. We've got a surplus of boards. See what we're exporting against. Oops, sorry. So we made 5,000 profit. See, we've kept the alcohol supply going right through the year, which is what I wanted to do. And we're still exporting a bit of gravel, a bit of boards, a bit of bricks, meat. We're now exporting some food. So we're making about 18,000 a month. So I think we're getting the economy in balance. We just need to keep pushing it a little bit harder. I'm getting to the point now in this area where I can say that I've got the basics finished. What I need to do now is start thinking about getting the coal online. What do we need here? This just needs a little bit of steel. I think we can get you guys working on the groundworks for this, so that we can get a little bit more health going over here. I think that's what might be causing part of the problem to do with the escapees. We can get that done. And then I think, especially once we got these conveyors done, and then what we can do is shift the focus a lot more onto here and start building our new town, because I think if I could get some coal production going here, and more importantly we're going to have to bring a very long power cable out here to connect it, because we can't put any substations here, because they will probably burn. In fact, we could probably put a substation here, but would I need one? I'd rather run the substation here, and we could put that would be in range of this fire station. We could put a substation here against the possibility that we will need a more, let me just think about this. What we see, power substations, not that one. We've got power transformers, and what I'd be thinking is something like I wouldn't want a massive one like that. What I'd be thinking more is something like that. We can probably put it in. So we can put something like that. Because what that will do is give me the potential to run low voltage into this area should I need it. Because obviously we've only got one power supply in there. If I put up more farms and stuff in here, we may need to put another low level power supply into this area. That will give me that option, and then that will have the fire coverage, and then that will reduce the cost of running the high tension cables out that way. In fact, I think what we will do is kind of do it, and we'll just see, and this will be the last thing in the video. I think we're going to go all the way down to 10 megawatts, I think. What I'd like to do is run that down to there. I'm going to run pretty close to the rail lines because I want to have the option of possibly putting some more builds in here. So we're going to run along the bottom like that, and then up to there like that. And let's just see if I can get another big build in here. Get a big build in there. And if I put this here, we could get a big field in here, because of course we can infringe on the roads now with a loss of crops. But what we could probably do is put in potentially some small ones there, or just leave that area open. I think, yeah, I think I'm going to be quite happy to bring the power lines out to here. How much? Let me just have a look at the power line connection. That's going to be 9 tons of steel. Yeah, I think we can accept that. And that would be the first step in bringing power out to this area. And so if we get the coal mine going, get some coal processing going, get a power station up here. So the first job of the residents here will be to support the power station. We've nearly finished the roads here. So in the next part, we can start planning our new town out here. And I think just wind things up, we'll just have a little bit of a whiz around and see what's going on. We're now in August, so the harvest has started. I'm just going to pause the game, and we've managed to get through the year without running out low on crops. Let me just check the fuel situation. We even managed to preserve our fuel supply, so I think we're going in the right direction. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.